When you think of something lost, what do you think of? What comes to mind? Is it the sweatshirt that your kid left at school and is now in a box? Or is it when you lose something and try to inquire the whereabouts? This is something different. This is Lost and Found in a special way. It was 5 a.m. as I awoke in Los Angeles to go to the Rose Bowl swap meet in Pasadena, California. What I found were 3 boxes containing these images. I spent the next year going through them and trying to figure out where they came from. The following year, I traveled to the North Shore of Hawaii, and this is where the story begins. This is Lost and Found. It was the 1970s on the North Shore of Hawaii. The surfing world was blowing up. I had seen these images before when I was 14 years old, being published in the magazines. I knew there were stories there, and I knew that they needed to be told. I wanted to find them. I wanted their memories. I started to scan the images, and then I realized what they were. They had come from some of the best photographers of Surfing magazine. I started emailing and tracking guys down and was getting great responses back. I then built books of proof sheets and headed to the North Shore. Hey, thanks. I really appreciate your time helping us out with this project. I know we touched base, but I got the collection of photographs, and maybe we can get together and I can show you. The work was some of the best photographers shooting the best surfers in the best conditions. These were special images. Not many people would have access to this array of work.
'73, I was dreaming about Hawaii. '74, I graduated from high school. That summer, got my first job shooting pictures of tourists in Waikiki for $10 a night. It was hard work, but great. I had a lot of issues then because I'd go down to the beach, like at Pipeline, and it would be perfect. And my friends would go get your camera. And I'd run home, I'd look at my camera, I'd look at my surfboard, look at my camera, grab my surfboard and go back to the beach. I must have done that hundreds of times. And so consequently, my photography career got off to kind of a slow start. But I did get to see incredible surfing. You know, I saw my favorite surfers, which were Barry Kanaiapuni and Jerry Lopez, of course, and all the Pipeline guys. And that generation that emerged was also, you know, the Bertelmans and the Mark Liddells and the Buttons. Wow, this is the crew. This is like the second crew. This is Lance Trout from Florida, really talented photographer at the time. That's gotta be Merkel. He was the hardest working guy in the business. I actually made Super 8 movies first, and then I went to Surfing Magazine to get a review. Here's that photo. Should I write on here?
Yeah, go for it. So you were just hired as contractors on a freelance basis?
Yeah, the deal was I went in there to show my Super 8 movie, and I got to meet the guys at the magazine. That was incredible, for a kid to walk into Surfing Magazine and meet the sort of the architects of the media side of surfing, and I was kind of blown away by that whole process. But during my screening at Surfing Magazine, and it was really cool. You'd walk in there and the whole magazine would shut down and you'd show them your movie. So for an hour or hour and a half, the whole system just stopped. But they were doing magazines once every 2 months at that time, so it was, there wasn't any deadline pressures, I'm sure. But during that, I met Larry Moore, who was the photo editor at Surfing Magazine. He took me aside after the film and said, have you ever shot stills? I said, yeah, I can shoot stills. And he sort of challenged me because I think what he saw in there was I had some pretty unique water footage of big pipe and stuff. I made a plastic case for my Super 8 camera and didn't know any better and swam around shooting Super 8 movies. I still have one shot of Lopez coming at me and going right over me that is a really beautiful shot. It's one that I love. And it was in the late 70s, probably 77, 78, when I was just getting my legs under me, and I would be the only one out there with a handful of surfers, and watching these beautiful waves, and there was nothing going on the beach. It was just it was being in Hawaii surfing. And I think those moments of being alone out there amongst that, in that environment, amongst those waves, and watching the things happening and shooting photos, not on a furious basis, and I gotta get the shot basis, but wow, this is really a beautiful wave. I'm gonna shoot this wave. That's a memory that I'm gonna cherish forever, because it's not possible to experience that anymore. It may be on some crazy remote island in the middle of nowhere, but not in Hawaii. I shoot photos to go surfing. That's the only reason I did this, is because I love surfing so much. For me, the vehicle was to shoot photos to go surfing in these places. And that was a moment.
I do know that the images are Larry Moore's. I think it's definitely, I'm 110% sure that this is an archive of Surfing Magazine that Larry Moore did for the magazine while it was edited. Because if you look at some of the issues from the 70s, it wasn't all color. It's a combination of color and black and white. And the way he had to make these dupes to then figure out how he was going to edit these images together.
A lot of times, for me, my work lived in Larry Moore's edit room, and I never saw it. I was perpetually in motion, just shooting and sending and shooting and sending. Being on extended trips, he'd organize couriers with surfers. They'd bring me new film. I'd send my film back with somebody going home. I didn't really see a lot of it.
It's funny, you don't even think about those things when they're happening. You're a kid and you're going, wow, Surfing Magazine gave me 5 rolls of film and said, go away and come back if you get anything good. And then all of a sudden you're in a career.
Cause I'm no good.
There's so many great surfers, and if you don't see the ink, you never know.
God, how many times we go up and down the North Shore looking for which place was the best surf spot. It was like 25, 30 surf spots on this 7-mile stretch.
you know, some of the most beautiful beaches and best waves in the whole world, and a lot of them all in the area. It was just a really, really special time and place. Perfect day is just a perfect day. 30 years ago, 35 years ago, 3 days ago, whatever it is, it's just perfect day is a perfect day, and always will be that way. And everyone's always, no matter what the generation or the era or the period is, everyone's going to always have the same comment, the same glow in their eye, and the same sort of like a little bit of a head-spinning kind of smile, how good the surf was today.
This ocean is just amazing, what it does and what it can do, you know?
Pipeliner was probably the zenith of the longboard designs, the early period of longboards. And Jock had two of them, a 9.5 and a 9.4. I was riding it one day, it was my turn at Bellsingland, and I was surfing the lefts, and Brewer paddled out. He saw me riding Jock's board, one that he had made, Jock, and he offered to make me a board. I was like, yeah. I mean, you know, he was shaper to the stars. But Reno also wanted to do that too, so we both bought reject Clark foam blanks from Fred Swartz at Surfline, and we flew over to Cal Louie, hitchhiked with our blanks. Reno got his board shape, and it was like a 9.6 sleek kind of slimmed down version of a pipeliner, and that's kind of what I wanted too. And then Brewer goes, okay, let's go shape your board. So we went over to the shaping room. My blank's already on the rack. You know, I'd been there all morning waiting for him. And then Brewer gets a saw and cuts like a foot off the nose. You know, the blank was like 10 feet. And then he cuts like over a foot off the tail. And I'm going, wait a minute, RV, I want like a 9.8. And he's going, don't worry about it. I got something in mind, you know. And I'm like looking, and this thing's like, the blank's like really short now. And I'm going, oh man, what are you doing? And he gets a hot dog nose, like the pipeliner nose, he puts that on. And then he gets a full gun tail, pintail, and he puts that on, and we're looking at it going, wow, what the hell's this, you know? And then he cuts it out, and we're looking, and I'm going, oh man, that's not what I want. So he finished shaping it, you know, and I'm just scratching my head, and Reno's giggling over in the corner, because his board's already done. And it was the first minigun that Brewer shaped, and that went on to become, you know, the prototype for all the shortboards of the beginning of the shortboard era. I mean, if there was a shortboard revolution, that board was the first shot fired.
So it's a good thing Brewer cut those 2 feet off.
Oh yeah, destiny of what that board was. And you know, I was, you know, very fortunate to be the one that he cut the 2 feet off for. This is a sequence of Jerry Pipe. That's him standing there.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Do you remember that photo of you, Jerry, standing there?
No, but I remember those shorts. That was during the filming of Big Wednesday.
Jerry was pretty quiet. You know, he was kind of the epicenter of the whole movement. You know, and he was cool in ways that I still wish I could emulate.
Where are we driving to?
We are gonna go up Pamalu Road to my old residence that we moved to in 1979 and just take a look at the house that really became a dream for me and where my surfing evolved at Sunset Beach. And really incredible property, just its proximity to the ocean, but it's on an acre of land and an old redwood house that was built by Jeff Johnson. And it faced straight out towards the peak at sunset. It just had incredible architecture to it. It was really open. It had huge screens that let the trade winds blow through it. My mom and I just looked at each other and we just went, wow, this is it. We've got to find a way to pull this one off. And my mom was, you know, the courageous entrepreneur of the family. She was the one that took the giant real estate steps, and I knew that when she looked at this house, she had found peace.
Tell me about the times, like Thanksgiving times that your parents used to do with all the guys when, you know, they couldn't go home.
Yeah, we, you know, God, there was the friends from Santa Cruz, Richard Schmidt and crew, and then there was all the Australian surfers that I competed with when I went down under. And my mom, you know, she just loved opening up the house around Thanksgiving time. We had this incredible house, and it was just the perfect house for doing this. And you know, that was just the type of person she was. She knew that all these kids were over here, they were all surfing, and you know, it's Thanksgiving and you're away from home, and that's just a really special moment, you know, and you're used to being with family. So she opened up our house, and we just had really amazing Thanksgiving dinners, and there was just surfers from everywhere there, you know, and it was just a great time to share and kind of just share the aloha and talk about the past year and the upcoming year, and not to mention the food was incredible. But it was family and friends, and then visiting surfers, and still to this day a lot of surfers still talk about those particular times. It was really, really amazing to look back on that.
Mrs. Owens and Mr. Owens and the Owens family fed more people in their lifetime. God rest her soul, Mrs. Owens is not here today, but Mr. Owens is. In between, I don't know what it cost the poor guy. He was just in the military. It must have cost him a fortune to feed everybody. 3 turkeys came out of her oven, but everybody was at the Owenses. So everybody stayed for Thanksgiving, and everybody stayed for Christmas, and everybody got gifts. And the Aussies went home with all this new stuff that their new families and new friends had bought. No, there's something under the tree for you, Mark, or for Sean, or whatever. And Rabbit would walk out of it with a brand new sweater. And it was Christmas gifts. And it was so much fun because there's all these guys that you're just getting to know, or maybe it's your second year knowing them. And they're not really, they have stuff waiting at home for them when they finally get home, and they're not going home for a couple months because the good photos are going to get taken over the next 60 days.
We had a Thanksgiving the year of the hurricane where there was no power, no water. We were going down and getting water out of the ocean in buckets to use the toilets. I mean, it was, the windows were all taped up, but Janet made Thanksgiving happen for all the guys from out of town. It was fabulous.
Still to this day, a lot of surfers still talk about those particular times. It was really, really amazing to look back on that. My mom was a special person. At that particular point, there weren't a whole lot of options. So yeah, the house went up for sale, and it was really the end of the dream. So, but I feel so grateful that from 1979 right on into the late 80s, it was really probably the best time of my life, and to be right here and to be such close proximity to Sunset and all the special people that used to come over, and just feel really grateful that I was able to experience that. And my mom and my dad, they made that happen. My mom was the risk taker. She got us here. My dad was the one that had the steady income, and so without that, none of it would have been possible. So
it's life.
Yep.
As kids, we played played in the surf each day. The surf and sand seemed to guide our way. But as time went on, things seemed to change. But as we struggled from our broken past, we were thinking all this fun was gonna last. And all of a sudden you see it ran. Because the world is sometimes cold, equals sin. So you think you walked it back alone, back to the beach, you find a bath. Some friends still there, we're a little gray. But we're also glad you found your way. And for the ones that didn't make it, we hope and pray on the other side they find a sunny day. So let's go more time together. Cause here at sunset, it doesn't get much better.
This was really cool to be a part of that. It was a movement.
The goal with this thing is to keep it together as one piece and let everyone see it and enjoy it.
It's Jock Sutherland, bro. Good Jocko, dude.
There's my Volkswagen.
Michael Ho, Buttons. Dane, real good shot of him.
Yeah. Dane Cavall too, man. That kid raps.
See, that's Dane, that's me, and Buttons is
Okay, so this one?
That's Dane.
He was built like a break shit up. Dane just fucking stroking back door, just stand up. This thing will try and knock me off, man. Fucking power.
My skateboarding days.
Yeah. To a lot of these guys, they didn't even see pictures, you know? And this is a part of their history.
Believe it or not, man, people just pick up boxes and they freaking throw them away.
There's some gems in here that you just, that this is the history. This is a pictorial history of the sport of surfing.
Yeah, you got a bit of history here.
It's gnarly, bro. It's way cool.
Oh, this is definitely Bertleman. Could be nobody else with that hair, huh? Wow, got a lot of stuff in here.
Funny when you see a photo of somebody you haven't seen in 20 years minimum. And it reminds you, that's what this is sort of like doing for me right now. It's just reminding me how good some people were then.
When did it click for you that you really had something special?
Good question.
From the first wave. Yeah, I lived right a few blocks away from Ala Moana. So I was down there every freaking morning. Before school, after school, during school.
Larry never would go to school. The truant officer would always be looking for him. We'd hide him. Well, we never saw him.
Yeah, we used to sleep in the rocks over there. So we'd be the first guys to get out. I just surfed every freaking day. All day. This shot right here, this is Blacks.
Is that you?
Yeah. I could almost feel the waves.
How old are you, Hiram, babe? You're young.
Yeah. Oh, I was young one day.
I think I kind of remember.
All I wanted to do was shorten up all those lines, like all the long telegraphic turns. And I just wanted to shorten everything. And the boards weren't helping back then. That's why I said we had to move the fins all the way up and make them loose in the box. We had to create our own. So we did the swallowtail and everything else.
What he wanted to do was do all these turns and rip the wave up.
He was grooving, huh? He was carving.
He was carving. He was on a whole, everybody was going this way, he was going that way.
Bertleman, I think his influence has been one of the most powerful influences on board sports because he was one of the first guys to really put his whole body into a turn, drop his knees, bend his knees.
The kind of surfing he was doing at the time was just revolutionary, and everybody felt, one way or another, everybody was impacted by the type of surfing that he did.
They say he was the most unfairly judged surfer because of all his maneuvers.
Like I was one of the first guys to put stickers on boards. Because I was watching the races, the car races, and they have all their logos on the cars. I go, this is how they make their money. So my surfboard was my car. I put all stickers on, and the ones that shows the most is on the nose. I mean, almost more than 20 shots cover shots.
Really?
All different magazines. In fact, there was 1 month, Bernie Baker told me, I was on all the covers, all in 1 month.
Wow, how's that cover shot of Vertiman, man? Vertiman every year, every month. Cover shot. I used to trip on that.
After so many covers I got, I told the guys sitting in the parking lot, I bet you $500 that I could pick the first guy who walks across the parking lot and get him on the cover. They go, nah, bullshit. Okay, see the kid walking across the parking lot? I grabbed him, took him out to Kaiser's. The next month he was on the cover. The only picture he ever got in a magazine. His name was Burrell Thin.
That's his really close.
That's the only cover he ever got. The only picture he ever got.
Why did he get the cover?
Because what I told him what to do is his color, shorts, and what wave you pick. And what you gotta do is find out what size lens the photographer is using. If it's a long lens, you can do it anywhere. If it's a short lens, figure out you gotta do the maneuver right next to him. Got him on the cover. My whole thing that I had in my head was, I had to make surfing bigger than it was so that everybody would want to surf, quit their jobs and go surfing. That's why I gave some of my trophies to the museums, because they only collect dust in my house. And that way everybody else gets to see them.
Yeah, well, I'd like to have some of that dust. We
Yeah,
only have this.
Yeah.
That's the only one you got
That's
left?
the first,
That's the only
what was that, the first Haliva?
First annual Haleiwa Open, 1971.
Yeah.
First place juniors. You dream of surfing out there.
Eat, sleep, think surfing. Like I said, I fall out of bed thinking of new maneuvers to do.
He dreams so intensely that, I mean, sometimes I just have to hang on to the bed at night. But last night, he did such a turn that he literally went off the lip and onto the floor. He still dreams that he's surfing.
Got this new knee now, look. Ouch. Hopefully I can get back in the water and surf again. I haven't surfed since 2001. I was paralyzed and then had the operation and I could move around. Now I'm not in the wheelchair anymore. It says, our fellow surfers who art in heaven, inspiration be thy name. Thy surf spot come, thy surfing done, earth it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily surf, and forgive us our drop-ins, as we forgive those who drop in on us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from deep tube rides and bad wipeouts. For thy is the power and glory behind surfing, amen. Now we got a prayer.
I haven't been in here in a while.
When was your first trip to the North Shore?
Early 70s, 72, 73 maybe. I'm not sure exactly. No connection really to any of the magazines at that point. I just went with a buddy of mine, go surfing and take a few photos, and came home and took them to Flame, and they used enough stuff that it paid for my trip, and I went, I think I could do this for a while. And yeah, a lot of years went by. Surfers went, photographers went. And there weren't a million guys like there are today shooting, so you'd go and you'd know you're friends with all those guys, and it was always fun to go to the North Shore, and you'd have your new piece of equipment or a new water housing or something you wanted to try out for the winter, and it was very competitive between some of us, and other guys it was just great friendship, and there was great competitiveness between surfer and surfing. I think that's something that's been lost that I miss terribly. People would show up and it was definitely the proving grounds. They always said, you're not going to make a name for yourself unless you go to the North Shore. And I think that was true for the surfers and the photographers. And it was hardcore. It seems like there you go.
Oh, wow.
I can't find this shot. And I didn't realize that I couldn't find it till just recently working on this book project. So this might be an image that's in the book, because this was my first surfing cover of Kevin riding a black Curto at Stockton Avenue.
So you don't have that?
It's funny, like I said, I did not know that image was gone. or missing. I don't think it's gone, but boy, I can't find it. Every time, basically, you'd swim out with a camera, things could change for you. The significance, I think, to a lot of these images, even though they're copies, they exist. Who knows where the originals are? And the sad thing is some of the photographers are gone, and, you know, where are their images? Those guys that are gone, I think, are it's hard.
Hey, Buttons, how are you? I'm good. Yeah, I'm here. All right, I'll be there.
Well, there was only a handful of guys surfing: Jerry Lopez, Reno Abolaro, Jock Sutherland, Barry Kanapuni. I actually just sit on the beach and just be mesmerized by these guys. So I used to run away from home a lot. I used to pitch a tent on the beach at Chun's, and my little pots, pans, my little burner, and just live in a tent. And when the waves would get 20 feet and I'd be away from my tent, the waves would just, I'd come back the next day, my tent's gone. Everything's gone because the 20 foot is just washed it away and start all over again. Buy another tent, get another barbecue, and just live on the beach. That was the era then,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I never went to school, so that's all I did, skate and surf, run away from school, go to school for lunch, and just get on a freeway and hitchhike to the North Shore. And there was nobody out here. There was no one out here. But it's growing a lot more than when I was a kid, for sure. Oh yeah, that's
There you are.
No way, dude.
What do you think of that?
Wow, that's classic. Hey, it's my friend Bobby Judd. That's Mark Liddell. Wow.
Is that you?
It's Larry Berteman.
I thought so.
Yeah. We kind of look alike, yeah?
Button surfing sunset with his first days, freaking out. I knew you had it in you, Buttons. We just had to wait.
He was my hero when I was a kid growing up, dude. I can honestly say that. You know what I mean? I wanted to be Berteman, but I'm Buttons, so I just was Buttons. I just did my own thing, you know? I took my surfing to another, he took his surfing to another level, so it's all good, you know? But we all look up to somebody. All surfers, I don't care, young or old, they all looked up to someone. Isn't it true? You know? But it's kind of cool now that in our era, they see what we've done back then, and they realize, hey, these guys are the creators, or the guys that started it all, you know? Which is cool for me, you know? It's like, it's awesome. I still got the soul, man. I don't think that'll ever go away from me. I got that from my mom, man. I was raised by my mom, so I'm like her. She was really with her 2 feet on the ground and never changed, you know? So that's kind of person.
She's still around?
No, my mom, she passed about 2 years ago, but we'll meet up again, for sure, I'm sure. Yeah, but I pretty much learned from her, you know what I mean? My mom.
Still ride a local motion?
No. He promised me the row when I was a kid, and then he ended up selling the company for, I don't know, $17 million to a company out of Japan, and right when he did that, he let me go. You gotta go with the punches, huh? And you know, I wish I was smarter then to have invested in something, but I was a kid, so I didn't know best. You know, I didn't know. I just, whatever. So that's why now I have my own company, and it's called Button Surf School, and I just teach surfing. I get a lot of respect, and I give a lot of respect and the love for the ocean and for the people. You know? I've had my trials and tribulations, but for now I'm good, you know. Good couple of years now, so I want to stay like this, you know. I think it's what you make of it yourself, for yourself, inside your soul, that makes that person soulful as a surfer.
I'd be interested to be able to see the some of the Feynman stuff. If you know where they are, I would love to be able to see which images.
What are the years?
Well, this is one of the shots that is missing, and that's 1973. That's my brother on this board. That's the same day. And I don't have that slide. That's unbelievable, man. These are Feynman shots. This is Jay Riddle at Silverstrand right there. That's a Feynman shot. A lot of these days we filmed at the same time, so not only do we have the stills, but we have the films. Feynman was just brilliant at how he did all this stuff, and I've tried to keep it all on Russ in '77 over in Hawaii. And that's that same board as that one shot. Now that is missing. This is a shot of me that is really, now that's just makes my day.
Really?
I developed that film.
I'll get
I
it.
processed that in my darkroom. And that's been missing a long freaking time. I mean, since they printed it. The last time this shot was printed was '73. This is the first Bing article about, first Bonzer article, 1973. What a joy to see this stuff. It's just what a joy, and you have a great approach to it, and these are the best photos ever. Some of these are the best photos ever shot. I mean, you know, they're considered that. Dude, you freaking rock. Insane,
I'm
man.
stoked. I'm glad I came by.
Made my day, man.
Surfers were bad boys back then. We're bandits, outlaws. I wasn't a bandit, I was an outlaw, but never a bandit. Boy, oh boy, going back in time. And this is from the backyard at the pipe, man. There should be Jerry and I standing there. There's Jock Sutherland. Oh my God. I lived next door to Jock Sutherland. I was on the same surf team as Jerry Lopez. I had Jerry Lopez as my mentor. I mean, how could you not surf the pipe? Really well. You got two Mr. Pipelines sticking under your wing. Wherever was the best place was where we all surfed, you know, which was unreal now that I think about it, because most people nowadays, they go where it's the least crowded instead of where it's the best. I was the only pro surfer that lived on the North Shore. BK and all those guys, they were all from town. And if you weren't here all the time, you missed a lot. Such good waves. You ever had a wave coming at you that God has created such a perfect entity, such a perfect thing, The main thing is you don't blow it. You're already blowing it before it's there. It's so perfect, so magnificent that you're just afraid because it's so magnificent and it's so awe-inspiring that you just go, it's only, from my point of view, there's only this much area where it is the best place to catch that wave. And that's my area. That's mine. You guys can stay over here, you guys can stay over here. But right here is mine. There's Fitzy. Fitzy is too much, man. Good guy. I was catching this set wave and there's this blonde-haired, curly-haired guy, you know, trying to drop in on me. I just went, hey man, mercy, man. Give me some mercy. And he backed off and like that rode the wave and I was like, God. Then the next hit came in and he was on the inside and I just started dropping it on him. And he looked at me and goes, hey man, mercy, mercy. And I looked at him and laughed and dropped it on him. The Australians just say I wore blinkers in the water, like horse blinkers, so I couldn't see anybody on either side of me. And basically, if you came to the North Shore and surf and Roy Russell didn't drop in on you, you probably didn't go to the North Shore. I was like my father. My surfboard was my steed, you know, full steed ahead, charge. And he was a brilliant man. And people told me, you know, they'd come by and just call me up and just say, are you Roy Russell? Yeah. I just called and say that I served with your father and he's the bravest man I've ever seen in the world. You know, you could get two more diverse occupations of, you know, career military officer and surfer. But you know what? He was stoked. He was really, really proud of me. Now, he would never show it, of course, but he was a brave soul, man. I was always amazed by how all the kids used to sit there and just go through the new mag just to see if the picture was in it.
Were you friends with any of the photographers?
All of them. I worked well with them. They all liked working with me. I was a character, man. I was a character. And they're all my good buddies. That's one thing I'm very proud of myself, is that I've stuck with Lightning Bolt, you know, been loyal to Lightning Bolt through all the years, because I did the first Rip Curl ad in Surfer Magazine. I did the first Quicksilver ad. And then Doug Warbrick called me and he wrote me a letter. He goes, okay, Rory, you got to figure it out. Rip Curl, Lightning Bolt, or Quicksilver. And I chose Lightning Bolt because I was loyal to it. And they went out of business. But you know what? It all came around. And it's all coming back, and I think the energy is real good with the Lightning Bolt thing. So it was well worth it being a loyal person.
How is it to see these images?
Making me feel like a kid again, which is good. I'm losing years as we speak.
I'm in the middle of a procedure here with my friend the photographer. Could I call you back in a bit? I learned a lot of my water skills from guys that were from my dad's era. Fred Noel, Mike Stang, Mickey Munoz, these guys when I first surfing my man stuff. These guys would take me under their wing, Buzzy Trent, you know, and say, okay, here's the lineup, kid. You know, and Buzzy I first saw, was one of the first guys I ever saw with food in the water. He had like an apple or an orange out there at sunset. I go, that's cool, because back then, you know, we'd stay out for 5 hours at a time, you know, and not think about it. Most everybody was a good swimmer, and so our endurance, you know, our stamina was better, I would say in general, than nowadays. Even though guys train a lot, so that's good. But because of the diving, the skin diving we were doing in the summertime, because you know most of us were poor, so we want to get fish to help out the fridge, and these guys would take me under their wing, and so I used to be thankful a little bit about that, but now in retrospect, you know, I realize how fortunate I was to have grown up out here, and it was just, you know, really, really good for me and good for my kids, you know, eventually to have these guys pass on some of their knowledge and give me a little help, you know, when I needed it back then.
big sunset there. Could be the bay. Nice wall from the Ken Merkel shot there. Yeah, good stuff in here. Gavin on a bicycle there. And this is an airbrush. A friend of mine did a big print of it. It's called Legend of Jocos.
Why do they call it Jocos?
Well, because back in the old days before leashes, guys did not want to surf there so much. But I surfed it because I grew up there.
Back then when you surf, no leashes. You had to swim 10,000 miles too.
In fact, that's how antiquated I am. I'm calling them leg ropes instead of surf leashes. Once you got the leg rope, everybody was in the lineup. You know, you didn't have half the lineup swimming to the beach.
It's a good wave, Jocos. But you can, you know, I broke my leg there, and for a year I was gun shy. But it's just a very good, fun wave to be able to go out with and share with people. And in the early '70s, still not too many people were riding it because there's a big reef there, and if you wipe out, either you get rolled across the rocks outside they're sticking up by the reef, or the board went all the way in and there's no beach, right? So your board would get chewed. I rescued, I think, Joey Baran's board one time, you know, and maybe Mark Kong, you know, Gary Elkerton's board, you know, out there one time. And it's just something that you do as a matter of course. It's something you grow up with, you know, helping each other out. Back in those days, because we were in good shape, we would be a little more, not foolhardy, but a little more carefree, you know. Yeah, I'm in shape, I can take it, you know, and you get pounded, you know. Oh, whoa, that was a good one. That pipe, you know, just to kind of see how close to the curl we could get, you know. Put our hand up in the curl, you know. Occasionally you get a little too cocky and the curl would warble a little bit and get you in the head.
Jocko is so far advanced, so far ahead of his time, you can tell by his pictures he's in outer space.
One of the reasons why I switched foot was because of Jock Sutherland. Jock Sutherland could surf Waimea or Sunset, and I would never know what stance he was, his regular stance.
You know, as long as you have resilience, you know, flexibility and confidence in your heart and soul, and the inner enthusiasm that comes with being able to share, you know, be able to get as much enjoyment almost as riding a wave as watching, you know, the other guy get a good wave, you know, cheering them on. Then no reason why you can't surf for a long time. I want to be able to go out and surf Sunset when I'm 70, 75 years old.
Do you know who this is?
No, who?
Hot Rod Hedeman. Hans Hedeman. Jeff Crawford, Ian Cairns, PT, and his girlfriend. He married her.
How long were you in the North Shore?
25, not continuously, but 25 winters I pretty much went to the North Shore. From 1966 to 1991. I mean, I would take a trip like for 2 months and I would shoot 150 rolls. Would shoot like, you know, 4 or 5 hours a month. That was me. In my condominium at the Cui Lima. Super 8, just take the viewer, the projector, the rewinds, and the cameras. And the tripod, and you're in business. Well, I didn't work like the rest of the people in life. I don't worry about that other stuff. I just try to surf as much as I can and stay as healthy as I can. And I got my garden, that's what I eat, so it works good. 1984, that's when I worked for Herbie. 1973, we made Santosha. 1974, Uluwatu. 1975, Downhill Motion. 1977, 78, and 79. This is Style Masters. I know a bit about editing, direct editing. Once you cut it here, it's cut. You don't have to, there is no more pieces left. Boom, it's original film, it's cut. And then you just keep going, you get them all in order and sort of tighten the ends and da. Next thing you finally get that one cut and the whole movie starts to move right along. It's like giving birth to art. That was pretty much the state of the art of any film setup I ever saw. See that? 3 bowl U's, all modified with the flat base. That's the 2.5 fisheye lens. That is the 6 to 66 Schneider lens, and that's the 80 to 200 Nikon ED lens. They all sit right in the case. That sits right here in the case. Anyway, I travel with 3 cameras, 3 batteries, 15 rolls of film, and spare lenses. Here's my first photographs being printed. Smirnoff semis, 200 millimeter, 300 millimeter. That would have probably been 77. Sean and buttons. Editing is fabulously creative and stylistic thing. Once you, I don't know, it's just like doing a painting or something like that. But this one, I like this one. Wow. The albatross. Yeah. You can fly 10,000 miles without landing. They don't land. They just glide. I make green smoothies. I just come out, I put the banana, the soy milk, and the ice, and then I just come out here and just like clip off this plant. Take that much and just put it in the blender, drink it. There's a lot of stuff planted here. Cabbage, there's all kinds of beets, everything. Papayas, there's avocado trees here. Called grazing. No, taste the piece yourself. Tell me that's not like one of the best kind of lettuce that you'd ever want to eat. Arugula. But yeah. Are you hungry? You want a little smoothie? They're called a green smoothie. You know, everybody has a different way they approach it, but I don't have health insurance. I'm over 60. My only health insurance is I'm healthy. First tastes a little bit dirt, but then when you do it, you go, wow, it sort of feels like I just had an ice cream milkshake or something like that, but you were just drinking chlorophyll. You're drinking liquid sunshine. Mm-hmm.
That is damn good.
I've thinned it down to just fucking
I feel so alone, alone, I make resolutions, they change from day to day. I break constitutions. Who cares if I'm from grace?
So today we're on our way to see Dan Merkel. We've run into a few kind of snags because Dan is really angry at Surfing Magazine for losing these images and feels that it was their responsibility. But I hope that, you know, when we meet him, I hope that he sees that what we're doing is really a good thing and that we're not trying to cause any harm, that we're just trying to show people what his work was and the rest of the guys' work and get the stories from the guys who live that life. start taking pictures?
60s. A friend of mine, when I was in the Navy Reserves, got me a Pentax from some guy.
So did you know right away that you wanted to be a surf photographer?
No. I was surfing.
It just kind of happened.
Yeah, I was just taking pictures, and then I met this lady. I worked on a Christmas tree lot in San Fernando Valley. And when I was talking to her, she said her husband was Dick Graham, and he was the editor of Surfing Magazine, original Peterson publication, Surfing, before this Surfing Magazine.
Some people say you were the hardest working guy on the North Shore.
I would say so. Without a doubt.
Relative humidity 100%. East wind at 9.
Wow.
Here are some observations around California and western Nevada. It was sunny with a temperature of 44 at Sacramento, 54 at Los Angeles, and 53 at San Diego. It was mostly sunny with a temperature of 22 at South Lake Tahoe and 45 at
Surfing Magazine's lost a lot of photos. '76. That's my shot right there. And that one was mine. These are mine.
Let's mark them.
Because I remember shooting this as Sean. This is mine. I have this in Interneg. This is the one of Mike Thompson I told you about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in color, but Interneg.
How is it to see some of these when you haven't seen them in 30 years?
Ooh. Trying to remember. These are Dave Gilovich. I've got this one.
What is that from?
That was a poster. Mark Richards. I have nothing at Bell's Beach. These are all mine, so.
You have nothing of it?
No, I don't have one photo.
And that was 34 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, do you have those?
I don't have this. I don't have that. It's me.
Hard at work.
Yeah.
Sometimes we seek the answer. Sometimes we stand in the dark. Sometimes we look.
So, what were you going to shoot here today?
Here I was going to look for the backwash down along this rock area, and then further by steamers. You get one wave comes up and hits, and then goes back out and hits the other wave. Tide's got to, everything has to be just right for that kind of stuff to happen. It's trying. I'll drive down inside. Because definitely I don't shoot in this kind of condition.
To look at things.
As we left Santa Cruz, Dan was quiet. He'd seen images he hadn't seen in over 30 years. And I was glad that I could share them with him.
I can't believe I'm just getting the whole trip's gone.
Man Mountain, yeah.
Why Man Mountain?
Because he was just like solid muscle, and he'd hike for miles to take a picture.
Dan Merkel was the photographer. I mean, if you were going to kind of break into the limelight, so to speak, to kind of be legitimate, Dan Merkel had to think highly enough of you to take your picture. And if you could break through that barrier, then everything else would just kind of fall into place.
Merkel shots from the late 70s are just incredible. That guy was on it.
I'm 63. Hey, you never know. One day you're here, you get killed in a car wreck. I mean, I drive everywhere now doing panoramas. You don't know. So I'm trying to get everything into position so my daughter can make money if something happens. Because you never know.
I went to see Larry Moore's wife, Candy. Last weekend I drove down and met her and kind of shared with her what we're doing, and I even asked her, like, what did she think? What did she think Larry would think of this project? And she really felt that even though these images are out and maybe I discovered them, I think that she really felt that Larry would really be proud of kind of what we're going around doing.
I was in school in Spain, and we traveled Europe for about 3 months, and he ran out of money. And we were talking about getting married, and I said, well, you're going to need a job when you get home, if we're getting married. And so he ran out of money, and his dad wired him some money, and he flew home, and I stayed, and he went to the darkroom at the magazine. So this was his little workstation, and he had stuff totally everywhere. But those are the volumes that I have. He used a little light box. He'd be bring it home at night and sit in the kitchen. Before Larry died, those 2.5 years when he was sick, he spent a lot of time connecting to people and giving away.
There was a little diner in Haleiwa called the Sea View Inn. You see these larger-than-life personalities, not because they were trying to be something, that's just who they were.
There was a movement and surfing was just progressing.
Wow, this is before anyone even knew about it.
They don't understand what they don't have.
You've got to definitely get onto Yelovich and the guys that work at Surfing Magazine, because they're going to give you a big hand on this.
You know, the stories are really the best part about all of them.
You should have like a museum showing.
How is it to see some of these?
It brings back memories.
If you didn't have this, it'd be gone forever.
You know, the North Shore was really, really bitching then.
Those are the boys. You got the pictures of the right guys. It's not just like stray negatives. Those are the best surfers in the world of the day.
I don't think he realized until he became ill the impact that he had made on the surfing culture.
I think we're really lucky to get them back because they were lost, like you said, and you found them, and now we have them. They could have went to somebody that didn't know what they were, how valuable they were, but that's surfing history right there.
What do you think Larry would think of all this?
I think he'd be blown away. I don't think things just happen like that.
In life, we all have journeys. And this was my journey. Some people say that I didn't find it, but that it had found me.